And there is the marshal with the green flag at the back. When he's happy everything's right, he will wave it. He does. That's the signal for our starter to raise and lower the Union flag, which he does. And out of the blocks comes the Maserati very quickly. Also good stop for Tom Dark. Paddins Dowling, I think that is not got away in the RA. What a blow that is, but everyone has gone round him, which is fantastic. So Dowling, his hands up, but it was the Maserati out front of Callum Lockie. But going with him, Gillies and Tom Dark trying really hard in the Bugatti up the inside as well. That's a most unusual looking Bugatti. Here comes Julian Mazoub bustling the big Alfa Romeo to the middle, and a very, very sideways 21 and a big spin. And that is the Fraser Nash of Eddie Gibbs. He goes round, he held it sideways for a very, very long way on the grass. Bruce, the leader's with you.
Absolutely so, and it's Callum Lockie leading from Mark Gillies. They are tiptoeing around. It is very greasy out at St Mary's. Number 5 is in third place. That's Nick Topless. He's gained quite a few positions. And of course, Paddins Dowling lost so many. Terry Crabb. You can see the rain on the lens. They pass my commentary box. Down into the dip they go. And then up the rise into Lavant. People being very, very cautious. Conditions really tricky on this opening lap. And you can see Van der Lof in the 1950 Ferrari, one of only 2 post-war cars in this race, trying to pick his way past the Bugatti in front of him, but they have to be so careful. And now we've got to move for the lead, and Mark Gillies around the outside of the King, goes past Callum Lockie in the Maserati. Maybe Callum's quite happy to pop in behind and just see Mark Gillies finding where the track is at its wettest, but the two of them, as you can see, already pulling well clear of Nick Topless.
Indeed, and I remember winning in tricky conditions here, Mac Hulbert in ERA R4D back in 2011, but we've got some tricky conditions of the highest order today, and down at Woodcote where it's notoriously slippery, and particularly if they get a little bit offline. They're working hard, these guys, just to keep the cars online. And there is the Fraser Nash monoposto, Eddie Gibbs out of the race. May be very happy. He probably rushed off to the little boys' room, I would think. That was a major, major slide down towards Ford Water.
It was almost in slow motion as it happened. You can see Andy Wolf in shot there, starting to come forward. A pit visitor in the background, maybe crying enough because of the rain, but Mark Gillies 1.8 seconds clear on the line. You can see Nick Topless, good start, but he's 6 or so seconds back. John Yore in the pale blue number 17, working very hard around the outside, the Parnell MG, but Wolf passed him.
Mazoub, 16th to 7th on the first lap, is a phenomenal drive from him. Van der Lof up to 12th, and he started 20th.
Yes, it's fantastic lap from Gillies as well, wasn't it? Because his start actually wasn't that fantastic, and he was under threat from Tom Dark's Bugatti, but 1.8 seconds ahead in the lead by the time he got back to us.
You mentioned Tom Dark there, Kevin, and well, this is a replay of the start. Brilliant, brilliant getaway from Callum Lockie in the silver Maserati, and I had poor Paddins Dowling sitting there thinking, please go left, please go right, but look at it from the front. Almost no wheel smoke, tyre smoke at all from Callum Lockie as he got away. The arm put up by Paddins Dowling. Congratulations to all those behind. But this long spin from number 21, Eddie Gibbs, in the Fraser Nash monoposto, must be thinking, leave me alone, leave me alone. Onto the grass, though.
He went more than 180 degrees, didn't he? He went about 210 degrees, something like that, and didn't spin it completely. How he got away with that, I do not know. He's pulled off, yes, I can see he's pulled off on the outside of the kink, Eddie Gibbs.
Well, pulling away is Mark Gillies. He got clear on that opening lap around the kink. Ahead of Callum Lockie, and stretch clear. It was 1.8 seconds last time. Here's the shot starting his third lap. It will be out to about 4 seconds, I would suggest, this time around. Just waiting for 4.273.
That's pretty good effort, Bruce. Good guess.
The micrometer I worked
head on shot. But you can see how Mark Gillies is just looking to see how much grip there is out there. A little, not quite enough there. The tail kick round through the first part of Magic. Got it under control. But you try looking. There's Callum Lockie in the background, the silver Maserati. Long shot, still waiting for the driver in third place.
I think Matt Christen's got ahead, yes.
Yeah, Matt Christen, the Alfa Romeo P328 up in the third. Nick Topless is in fourth place in number 5 ERA. And then we've got Tom Dark and Michael Gans. Then we've got Mazoub. Behind Mazoub is Andy Wolf. Then it is John Ewer in the Parnell MG. Andy Newell Yeah, and here comes bustling up. That's Michael Gans. He's now past Tom Dark. So Michael Gans in 23 up into 5th place. Michael Gans, the American, driving very neatly in the ex-Richard Seaman ERA R1B, and he's going up to Nick Topless.
He certainly is with a vengeance, but all these top drivers very, very neat indeed. Get a little bit sloppy in these greasy conditions, and round these Voiturette Grand Prix racers will go. So hats off to those at the front, but Mark Gillies doing a great job. But ERAs do go sideways. They're so entertaining. Just look at those front wheels, the camber angle there. Number 23, rain, even more rain down on the lens there. Michael Gans pressing on, started 8th, up to 6th now.
Yes, even through the kink, he's having to just make those adjustments on the steering all the time. As Michael Gans, he came of age in historic racing. I think at the Silverstone Classic last year when he had a fantastic race in his AC Cobra.
Was that wet as well, Marcus?
I can't remember. It was a fabulous race, and he's really going well. He's right now with Nick Topless in 5. But it's Gillies by an increasing margin out front, 7.9 seconds over Callum Lockie, who's won some brilliant races in other cars in the wet, but quite so comfortable in this one. Matt Grist is now 3rd, Nick Topless is 4th, but under pressure from Michael Gans, and Tom Dark behind. Lovely growl of engines go past us here in the main commentary box above the pits. So the Zoob 16th or 7th on the first lap, and he stays there. Padding's Dowling, look at him coming through. Padding's Dowling push started. He's up into 8th place in car number 7. Padding's Dowling ahead of Andy Wolf and Van der Lof.
Yeah, he's lapping quite a bit quicker than Majube ahead of him as well, so he could well get 7th. He's got quite a big gap to go, though. He's got 12 seconds to find.
That's a 1500 ERA. Another 13 minutes. I think there's every possibility we may see him challenging for maybe a 4th or 5th place position, something like that. Padden Dowling flying, the Irish stockbroker based in California, and has 2 ERAs in his stable now, as does Chuck McCabe.
Very nice.
Now, there isn't a wet line or a dry line that can be seen, but you can be sure the bit they're supposed to be racing on is less slippery than the bit when they go out wide. So when it gets to overtaking, that's when the drivers know they're going to have to really start adjusting their cars to get the grip that they've lost when they go onto the wider line. Michael Gans pushing very, very hard indeed in the number 23, and these cars are so visceral. You can see exactly what the driver's doing. He would have felt it before through the seat of his pants. And that is why the ERAs in particular are always so fascinating to watch. A little bit of a greasy circuit, and it doubles their workload.
Yeah, and Topless isn't that far behind Grist in the Alfa. That is at 3rd, 4th and 5th. That's the 2 ERAs are 4th and 5th. 6th is Tom Dark in the Bugatti. This is Callum Lockie. They're lapping quite quickly, considering. I mean, they're in the 54, 55. Still Gillies way quicker than anybody else. It's
3 seconds a lap faster than Lockie last time around. That's the advantage that he's got.
Doing a brilliant job. Mazub in the Alfa Romeo on your screens.
And there is Padding's Dowling chasing him down from behind. Let's see, Mazub's last lap was a 1:59, and the last lap for Padding's Dowling, 1:52.28.
Second quickest man on the track.
Exactly so. Oh, what could have been. So the number 7 ERA being pushed very hard indeed from Padding's Dowling. He should have been starting, well, he did start from 5th on the grid, but the point of the matter, he didn't start. He stalled the car. Everybody managed to weave their way past, and his race is one of the comebacks.
Yeah, it's an incredible drive. In fact, at 50, lapping in the 152s, he is 2 seconds quicker than Lockie in 2nd, 3 seconds quicker than Grist in 3rd, Topless in 4th. Gans is a little bit quicker than them both.
I think Gans has just gone past Topless for 4th place with you, Bruce.
Yes, he has. Move completed. Very tidily done. And he's pressing on and just don't want to slide too wide when you get down to Lavant. And you can see Nick Topless, the number 5, fighting back. But Michael Gans, the American racer in number 23, home. And now his target is the Alfa Romeo, number 28, with Matt Grist at the wheel, the battle for 3rd place.
Brilliant, isn't it? So Padding's Dowling was about 16 or 17 seconds behind this group as a whole, if you take the lead marker as Grist in it, and Padding's Dowling in that black ex-Peter Whitehead Australian Grand Prix winning car. And into the pits has come the leader. The leader is in the pits. This is a shock.
Well, he was 11 seconds clear at the start of the lap, but he's just completed in the pit lane. Can this be repaired? Can he get back out in time to have the comeback?
Well, that was James Ricketts there in the pits looking. They were popping the bonnet up, I think, on the ERA. They are. And what's happened? They're changing a plug by the looks of things. A plug looks like it's oiled up.
Well, you know what? Even despite having come into the pits that time, his lap was still faster than most of the field, and it just shows wherever the the overtake happened. Oh, talking of overtaking, hold on, we've got number 73, Tom Dark.
Tom Dark's up.
It's past Topless, but wherever that happened, it must have been right at the end of the lap, because that was a quick lap from Gillies before he came in. So Lockie now leading by 8.7 seconds, but the battle, which is now for second, third, fourth and fifth, Grist, Gans, Topless and Dark, well, it's now Dark ahead of Topless. There is Tom Dark up into fourth place in the Bugatti.
Chris Gans, yes, Topless, but now Dark ahead of him. So Dark goes up into fourth place. Dowling is actually net fifth, isn't he?
He's passed Majube already.
Yeah.
In 2 laps, he's closed down.
And Gans has now just gone past. He's overtaken. He did Topless a while ago. Now Grist is gone. So Gans, number 23, up. Not so long ago he was 6th. Now he's up to 2nd.
He is, and Michael Gans in 23, ahead of 28, which is Grist. Of course, Gillies didn't cross time. Gillies back out into the race, and looking down, he'll be bitterly disappointed because he had a 6th victory very much in sight, in grasp.
Absolutely, 11 seconds clear
race.
and going away.
Well, he's just come out ahead of number 9, which is the ERA of Julian Wilson, but that was down towards the tail of the field.
He's 16th.
I think that ERA is going to be very good to watch over the last 9 minutes of this race. He looks fired up now. Sideways 3 times through Madrid.
OK, I think what the story will unfold is that Callum Lockie leading in the Maserati, 8.7 seconds last time around, but hunting him down.
Callum Lockie waved waved his hand at the pits, and it looked not like an acknowledgement, but one of worry. OK,
let's wind it back, Marcus. Just before the formation lap, no, as they came in from the formation lap to form on the grid, Lockie was very busy doing something down with his left hand in the cockpit. I don't know what that would have been.
Pumping the fuel
I would have thought so, but is it something that manifests off that?
It's 5.9 seconds. He's lost 3.5 that time.
Yeah. Tom Dark's coming back, you know, in the Bugatti. He's 4th at the moment, but really pushing Grist. This is the battle for 2nd through to 5th places, and at the moment it's Gans at the head of it. Should be able to pull away from Grist because he caught him and passed him. But track conditions keeping on changing. The drizzle, my windows aren't any wetter than they were at the start of the race.
Dowling is not closing significantly now on the 5 ahead of him. So Paddins Dowling is back to 6th place, which, well, he qualified in 5th. Still with 7.5 minutes to go.
I don't want to be a doom monger, but there was a puff of smoke out of the back of the race-leading Maserati as it exited St Mary's. Happened to look out of the window. Callum seemed to have backed off a little bit. Puff of smoke. So the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th place battle could be closing in very soon indeed. Let's have a front shot. OK, you can see number 23 going around 25, back marker Federico Buratti's Ferrari. He's the chaser. The traffic up ahead, but that Quartet coming through in great style. Tom Dark in the Maserati, number 73 in 4th place, but Michael Gans being chased by Matt Grist, going after Callum Lockie. They'll see him now. They'll see him getting closer and closer. They will,
and he just goes out of sight. They've got Ericsson Shirley in the middle. He's indicating very well.
Change of weather, the back of the circuit, it's suddenly a lot wetter. I think that's another factor.
Working their way past Ericsson Shirley, who's staying out of the way very, very well. And this is going to change the complexion. We'll see how the lap times change. This is lap 7, and Lockie has gone through a 59 for Lockie, 57 for Gans. It's 4 seconds now.
With 6 and a bit minutes remaining, this could happen. We could have the front 5 cars, the first 5 cars all together, clearing his visor there, Tom Dark.
Oh, a spin for Gillies.
2 in 1 weekend. That is unheard of for Mark Gillies, but of course he was giving it everything to catch up after that long
Dowling now a 53. He's 6 seconds quicker than the leader, ladies and gentlemen. Paddins Dowling in number 7. Suddenly, with this extra wetness, he is getting. Bear in mind, he's only a 1500. Some of the other ERAs running 2 litres, and it's down at. Is that down at Lavant?
Yeah. Frustrating weekend for Gillies, isn't it? It's just nothing's gone right for him.
Callum Lockie through St Mary's, down into the dip. Behind you can see first car behind him wasn't Matt Grist, it was another Alfa Romeo. That's not the one. Grist should be coming into shot. Well, Michael Gans, big twitch there in the ERA. Matt Grist keeping him very honest in his Tipo B Alfa Romeo.
This is extraordinary throttle control, isn't it? You need it. It's wonderful things to drive. They're very fluid, very just poetic. It's beautiful.
It's also right on a knife edge at the moment. Extremely tricky conditions. The track is greasy. It's wetter, I would suggest, at the back of the circuit out at St Mary's than it is over on the start-finish straight by you, Marcus. But nobody seems to have told Michael Gans, or he's just risen to this challenge. Matt Grist going with him, but Gans has worked his way towards the front. Very spectacular driver. Tell me he's not loving it.
Getting these cars slowed down is amazing. Well, he's equally adept in pretty much any historic car he drives, and well, that was Callum Lockie. Came very close to clipping the wall as he was coming up to lap Charles McCabe in Remus, the car in which Ludovic Lindsay had won here 6 times in the past, and he's still in trouble. He's looking down into the cockpit. He's waving at his pit crew, Sean Danaher's guys in the pit, Sean and Laura Danaher, who own this car. They're the leading Maserati specialists up in Suffolk in this era of Mazda, and it's down to 2.7 seconds. Gans is closing, 59 for the leader, 58 for Gans. Grist is closing.
Dowling is coming after them. Another quickish lap from him there. He's faster than all the cars ahead of him, but I don't think he's going to be able to get any further than 6. He might get up onto their tail. How brave can he be?
7.8 seconds behind Nick Topless, isn't he? And this is a great display for all of these guys.
Well, every lap is different, isn't it? They've got a different grip level every time they go around.
Yes, every lap is a voyage of discovery.
So, I think we can see the gaps going up and down in terms of the difference in lap times.
Orange dot on top of the ERA's tail, you see there, indicates to the marshals it's running on methanol.
I think Grist is having a look at Gans again now. He's
absolutely so. He seems to have settled down. He was caught and passed pretty easily by Michael Gans as Gans had picked off those ahead of him, but certainly Matt Grist, almost as though he's just looking at the back of Michael Gans and going, I can see where the grip is, or you just proved where it isn't. And then, in fact, the second part of Lavin, Grist found very little grip indeed, but he had to adjust because Michael Gans is getting very lurid in his handling, trying to keep that second place from the Alfa Romeo.
And very potent, the Alfa Romeo in a straight line. But look at Lockie. He's managed to put a couple of slower cars between himself and the chase pair. Gans slithers past Terry Crabb in ERA R12C. He's got another one ahead of him. It looks like number 9. That'll be Julian Wilton. Oh, and there's the contact between Wilton and Gans. Gans goes round, and he's going to continue, but he's lost out, and is the car that has it sustainably damaged. They're pretty hardy old war horses, aren't they? But at the end of the day, he's having to fight it now. I wonder whether the tracking has been knocked on that. He's moving the steering around, I think, to try and establish whether there is any problem with it. He's got Padins Dowling though right behind him, and Dowling is on Gans, and Gans is on Topless in the blue car ahead. I think that is Nick Topless, number 5.
4th, 5th and 6th places. That was a very unfortunate diminishing returns down at the chicane there. Julian Wilton took the corner and just didn't leave enough of a gap for the dive. Michael Gans in the thick of the battle though with Matt Grist, thought, I cannot not go for this opening.
And that's delayed Grist, and Callum Lockie now has over 7 seconds lead, so he should be able to hold on if the car keeps going.
And we don't have an ERA in the top 3, which is almost unheard of in this race. I'm looking.
Well, we could have a Bugatti coming up into second place because Tom Dark right on the tail of Matt Grist now. And here's a replay of the moment that the dive for second place didn't work into the chicane.
He looked like he was going to wait, and then because the 9 car was just a little bit wide, he thought, oh, he's seen me, he's staying wide, and he went for a gap that then vanished.
If they finish in this order, it'll be the first time since 2006 that there's not been an ERA in the top 3. Also happened in 2003.
Just looking to see that battle. Michael Gans still ahead of Padins Dowling, fighting over 5th place. Michael Gans, such a bold race early on. Then that unfortunate incident, the collision down at the chicane with Julian Wilton. Now he's battling for 5th rather than battling for what it should have been after 1st place.
He's battling for 5th and the ERA class, isn't he, really?
Yes.
Which is usually the top class.
wide over the curves again. Down at Woodcote, using a little bit more than you want. You do not want to go off the racing circuit during wet conditions like this. Now it appears to be as wet with you as it is out at the back of the circuit at St Mary's.
It's very wet here, 7.3 seconds. Virtually nothing in the lap times of the first two. And it looks like Callum Lockie probably has this. There's Paddy's down looking up the inside of Michael Gans up towards Madgwick Corner. It's a tricky line to take because, of course, you're going to wash out over the camber there. On the first apex, and these two black ERAs dancing on ice.
Now,
absolutely brilliant.
Now, of course, you'll see Dowling coming past, so much more traction. He wasn't so sideways on the exit of Madgwick, but nobody's told Michael Gans as they get to fourth quarter.
Kevin spotted something. Kevin spotted something.
I've noticed that Gans has been, it seems to be 10 seconds further down the timing screen than he actually is in reality, because he came through just ahead of Dowling and then immediately jumped 10 seconds back. So whether he's got and he's got a penalty.
10-second penalty for knocking the chicane.
Well, that matters not to him at the moment. The checkered flag should be out, waiting for the race leader, Callum Lockie. Still half a lap to go as that sort of gaggle from second place down to sixth find their way. Michael Gans still trying to keep his ERA vaguely straight. You really feel that one more slip from him and we'll have Paddins Dowling going past the 23 ERA. And he's done it now up the inside, but Gans never ever backs off.
Comes Dowling, and over on the grass goes the Bellevue Special MG. Tom Hardman deciding he might have
probably the safest thing to do there, I think, was to jump onto the grass.
Right, Callum Lockie should now be in the middle of Woodcote Corner. We think there he is, 19 Maserati 6CM, led from the start, got monstered and absolutely left in the wake.
And here comes Dowling past Nick Topless into Woodcote Corner.
Top ERA.
Absolutely superb, and a massive slide, beautifully controlled by Callum Lockie, who's going to come home to win this extraordinary Goodwood Trophy race. He does in a Maserati. It's the first time in 10 years that a Maserati has won the race. In second place, it's going to be just Matt Grist in the Alfa Romeo from Tom Dark in the Bugatti. So a superb Cosmopolitan International multi-mark fest up front.
Back.
Well,
how did he miss
the Ferrari?
Missed the Ferrari. That was a heart-in-mouth moment, not just for Richard Mines, but also for Joe Bamford as he saw it getting closer and closer.